Good morning. Hand today is going to be pocket nines. This is a 10 NL game. And under the gun, open raises at 2.5. I've got 43 hands on him. That's it. He's playing 2018 or 2816. He's played 33% of hands from early position. He's raised all of them, but it is 3 out of 8. So it's entirely likely that he's had some decent hands when we look at his other positions as well. 33% in mid position, but 0 in cutoff, 0 in button. He's had opportunity to raise first in from the button. He didn't do that. Same thing with the one hand in the small blind. When I look at ranges like that, this is the 14% range. That could be what it is. It's just he got lucky because 3 out of 3 out of 8 versus 2 out of 8. 2 out of 8's 25%. It's just all you have to do is get a couple of decent hands while you're sitting at the table, and you're going to be raising them. So I'm going to give him a range of 14.2. I have a lot of hands on this guy who calls. He's 13-8, 1,000 hands. His VPIP in mid position is 11%. He raises 7%. Pre-flop cold call is about 10%. I think a player like this is calling like pocket pairs, maybe suited connectors, maybe like a suited high cards, like suited ace, jack, king, queen. This is 9%. I think with his tightness, he's probably just calling with king, queen. I think queens plus ace, queen, queens plus ace, queen suited and ace, king. Those are probably his raising range. Maybe we toss in ace, jack as well to get up to about 10%. Maybe 6-5. That's at 10%. I think this is his range. It's going to be pretty tight. The next guy, Villain 7, also calls for 2.5. He's playing 21-14. I only have 29 hands. I suspect he's going to be looser, so I added in more of these suited Broadway hands to get him up to 14. Could I add more? Maybe, but just out of 29 hands, he's only playing 21%. He's not overly loose, and he still has a bunch of people behind him to act. His 3-bet stats, 13%, but that's once on the cutoff, once in the small blind. Again, really small sample, tough to know. And then it folds around to me, and I'm in the big blind with pocket nines. What do I do? Well, this is a 3-way pot. The strongest player that we have is Villain 4. That's his strongest range. Villain 4 is could be somewhat loose, so we're looking at something like this. I think for isolation perspective, we could probably go ahead and 3-bet. Not even isolation, but just 3-bet. We've got 2 callers. This is more of a squeeze play. We're out of position. I'm going to be okay with just getting all folds. There's 8 big blinds in the pot right now. Looks like there's 9. So 5, 7.5, 8.5. Yep, 9 big blinds in the pot. We raise up to 15-18. It's going to be hard for people to call, and I think that would be a great situation. If we look at our 3-better call, so big blind versus EP puts a 3-bet like pretty darn tight. 3-better call puts you here, and I think these are the hands that we could look at. Raising. We're not necessarily raising for value. Yes, our 9s are going to be okay. They're not going to be too far behind if called. But I think with 9s, we're really just kind of hoping to flop trips because any overcard's going to be hard for us to play. I think the overcard's going to be in all of these hands. I think the best flop we're looking for is something like 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 8, 8, 10, 8, 7, something like that. The middle cards. Even with low cards, we're going to have to be concerned because I think there could be some small pocket pairs, and I don't think these small pocket pairs are going to call a big 3-bet. So what do? I just called. which again is probably okay. But I think today I'd consider just going ahead and going for the raise, out of position, trying to pick up these hands, with the idea that if we're only called in one spot, I'm going to probably c-bet, usually c-bet. If I'm called by more than one player, then I'm going to be a lot more cautious on how I play it. Flop comes king 3-3. This would be a board where, had I raised and been called, I would c-bet it, and I would not be surprised to take it down right now. I think we are c-betting for a little bit more protection. We don't want 10 jack queen to catch. We don't really want an ace, like ace queen, ace jack to catch. I think ace queen, ace jack would be hands that, if I check, would probably check behind. Same thing with queen jack or queen 10, if there's queen 10 in the range. But we didn't 3-bet. So I think our play is to check to the preflop raiser, and villain 4 checks. Villain 4 checks. What kind of hands would he be checking? I don't think he checks top pair plus. I think he bets with those. So I'm just going to say he's got one of these hands. And then villain 6 checks. So villain 6 has an opportunity. Villain 6, when he plays, he does come in for a c-bet. If he raises pre-flop, he comes in for the c-bet. I think this high stat is because he is fairly tight. When he gets called, his c-bet percentage really drops. Likewise, his fold to c-bet's pretty low. I mean, when he's in position, it's 36. When he's out of position, it's 67%. I think that's an effect of being fairly conservative with what hands he plays. If he's in position and actually does call, he's probably calling again. 50-50 chance on the turn. So when he checks, I think he's probably capable of doing top pair plus as well, going for value. So I'm going to say that he has something like that. And now we're on this player, villain 7, who also checks. Now, villain 7 has had the opportunity to bet, and I would think he's probably betting all of his pairs. Maybe not pocket twos, but I think something easily like this. This board is not going to hit anybody super hard unless they have a 3. And I'm not really sure anybody has like an ace 3 in their hand. I didn't put an ace 3 in the hand. Most likely person with ace 3 is me. So I know they're going to be scared of me, which kind of makes me wonder, should I have let out in this pot? Should I have made a donk bet? I don't think so. I think we're going to do better by check calling. And I probably would have check called this guy. If he bets and everyone else folds, I'm probably check calling. If he checks and one of these other players bets, I'm probably just going to have to fold. It's going to be a tight fold, but strong chance that they're betting a king. All right, so we go to the turn, 5 of diamonds. I think this is a spot now for us to bet. There's going to be a diamond draw out there. We want to bet for protection. So I think here, when we look at our range, we are going, not sure, maybe quads. I think quads are tough. Maybe quads or check. I'm going to probably leave quads in our check range. But I think a full house is betting. 3 of Kind's betting. Top pair's betting. These cards, pocket pair below the top card, I think I'm betting all of them. With the exception of maybe jacks. And maybe 10s. No, I take that back. No, I'm betting those. I think I have to bet those. I think we're checking those. And we're going to have some flush draws in our betting range. Right? I don't know. I don't think so. No, because the 5's on the Yeah, ace three of diamonds. That's in our betting range. I think that would be it. There. I think I would include the gut shot in our betting range here. Flush draws in the calling range. Middle pairs in our calling range. I guess gut shot maybe is not. I mean, that's just such a small sliver of the total that I'm betting. We're going for value for a lot of stuff. I guess if we do for value with our flush draw, it gives us a larger bluff range. I think we're unbalanced. That's what I'm seeing. I'm saying we've got too much value. But then again, I think even some of these pocket pairs less than the top card are kind of betting for as a bluff. So I think 6s, 7s, 8s, probably even 9s are a little bit bluffy. 10s and jacks are value. I think 9s are half value, half bluff. 6, 7s, 8s are more on the bluff side of things. And I think then your ace 5, that's what we're doing. Ace 5, we bet those 6, 5, 5, 4. That's all kind of bluff range, and we could probably even do 4 pocket 4s. It's kind of like our part of our bluff range here. 2s, no one really showed strength, so I'd say let's go ahead with 2s. And then we also have our flush draw. I think that's it. So we are betting, a large chunk of our range here, and it's going to be about half value, half bluff. And again, we didn't get all of them. We didn't get all of these down for a bluff. I think 6, 7s, and 8s are all bluff. Oops. Different color. Let's get those in there. Yeah, they could be for value. They could be bluff. That's what we're doing. I think that's what we should do. And I didn't. I checked. I think that's definitely a mistake. I don't know why I didn't do this. I'm sure I'm thinking I'm going to play in a check call because no one's showing strength. I don't think anyone here has a 3. And they all check. So this was a major mistake. So had I played this, I think right now we are at like no made hand. That's what we're looking at. Which is off. I don't know. I don't know what I did. So let's start for the first guy. He checked it. Definitely doesn't have a full house. I can't imagine he would have checked these cards again. I think he is no made hand. Maybe he has a flush draw. Let's put these at like 50% maybe. Just they're kind of in there. Maybe he played it that way. This player also checked. So again, no full house. Maybe this player definitely I think could have checked those. He's scared of the king. He's scared of trips. Definitely that player hits that profile. He's just tight. He's not going to be betting. He's not going to be overly aggressive unless he has a good hand, top hand. Villain 7 checks. Again, I think this is maybe he has a middle pair. I kind of think he would probably bet that. We're going to give him weak pair at no made hand. So right now we are looking at something overly weak. So maybe what I was thinking is they were showing weakness here. This 5 didn't improve them. And the only way I'm going to make some money is if they bluff into it. Maybe. But I don't like that way of thinking. I think we should be aggressive because we have hands in our range that aren't very good either. So I think we should be attacking with these hands try to get them to fold. Let's let them realize our equity. We have some flush draws. We've got some gut shots that haven't connected yet. Let's use those as our bluffs and try to pick up the pot. Rivers of 2 didn't help. Didn't connect. Now, if had we bet and we've been called, I think we fire out a bet again. With our straight, well, we wouldn't have 4-6. Ace 4 is in there. Ace 4 connect. So we've got some decent hand. We've got a king that we would be betting our pairs. So maybe, if we bet someone calls just a bluff catch. So, here we would be betting, all of these are top pair hands. I think our pocket pair less than the top card, we're also betting here. We're hoping to get somebody to bluff catch us. I think middle pair, weak pair, ace high are all just going to be checks. Now, had we bet, I think we are continuing to fire. We're not just only betting those. We've got some value. I think actually these pocket pairs less than the top card. That's probably going to be a check call. We're going to check. We're probably going to call if the bet's reasonable. I think middle pair is probably going to be a check call. Ace 4 could possibly be a check call. I think our nothing hands, our ace high hands, our missed diamonds, I think would probably be a bet. I think that would be our bluff range that we would fire 2 streets on and hope they fold. Obviously, if we have diamonds, it makes it less likely somebody else has diamonds. If we had a 4, so we probably wouldn't. Our gut shots would be bets. Gut shots would be ideal, especially if we didn't have the diamond. So I checked here, and as played, I think we're just gonna have. Again, I think we messed up on the turn. We should have bet, and now's our chance to bet. And I would do. I think now we're hoping someone bluffs at it, and we just check call is probably what I was thinking. So villain 4 checks. He was in the lead at this point. I think nothing ace high. That's it. That's his range. If we get to see it, this player bets, which is interesting. Does he have a full house? I can't imagine. Maybe he has one of these pocket pair less than the top card that he's going for a little bit of value. Maybe he bluffs at it. Do I have a note on him? No, I've got didn't 3bet, 3bet and 5bet all in with queens, check raise all in pot with jack 9 on a 9 high. I mean, he can make some plays, but he's betting about half pot. I think this is just no one showing any strength. He's betting to pick it up, so maybe an ace high, maybe a weak pair, something like this. I think we're beating the vast majority of his range. Villain 7 calls. And it's like, what is villain 7 calling with? A pair, maybe? Maybe he calls with ace high. Maybe I misread him as checking one of his pairs. Ours, yeah, I think we're calling these. We've got 9s. I mean, only a king's going to beat us, and I don't think a king would have checked all 3 streets, or 2 streets anyways. So I think we do call with 9. I think the middle pairs, 5s are probably ones we're going to have to fold, except ace 5. Ace 5's got the best kicker. I think the 5's going to be the most likely hand that we're going to be seeing here, shown here. So hand shows ace queen. We see 7s. So I missed this player. Well, this player folded, so we don't know what he had. This player that bet, I guess I did ace high. He was trying to go for a bluff. Ace queen's in his range. This player, I didn't have those mid pocket pairs. I kind of assumed that if it went check check on the flop and on the turn, he would probably bet those, but we know he didn't. So I mean, I won the hand. I don't know if we could have made more. I mean, we made quite a bit on this hand alone with that 4.7, and then you had a call. I think if we bet the turn, 7s are probably going to call us. They're going to call us at least once. We're going to probably bet 7 or 8, so we would be pretty close. And then we're going to follow up with probably about 50-50 chance that we fire up with a bet on the river with these nines. And if we check the nines and he bets, we're probably going to be calling those again. That's going to be a check call because we've opened ourselves up to a bluff at that time. All right, so won the hand. I'll take some notes on these players, make it known that he bluffed with ace queen on this type of pot. I'll make a note on this guy that he just check and then call half pot bet on the river with sevens, and take a note that I really should have bet that turn. I think that was a mistake. Got to be aggressive. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.